It's up for grabs now!
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira!
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it!
Fabulous solo goal by pierre-emerick.
Champions.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Arsenal Lounge. As you can see, we've got the main man, one and only, Fabrizio Romano. How are you, Fabrizio?
Hello, my friend. Thank you for the invitation. I'm fine. Big pleasure to be together, and I'm always happy to be here.
It's a pleasure
with
to have
you
you
and
on.
with Arsenal fans.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on. As always, we've worked together for a while now, and it's always nice to have you on.
Thank you.
I thought we'd do things differently this time, Fabrizio. Just before I go into this, unfortunately, Lev has got a kidney stone, so he's not going to be able. He's in pain. He's not going to be able to join us. And Mo has had the last-minute work meeting, so as soon as that meeting finishes, he's got the link. He's going to join us. I thought we'd do things differently this time. I've got a list of players that are due to go out, and some that potentially may come in, and I'll just mention the name and you tell us what you know about them. Obviously, this is the information. Just before we go into this, I wanted to ask you, what's your feel about this transfer window so far? Is it one that clubs are looking to spend big, or everybody's not looking to spend, or how has it been so far?
It's not so fast. This is the point, because of course, when you have Euros, the part of the negotiation are getting slower, so it's normal. I think it's not just about Arsenal, it's in general. But I think immediately after the Euros, we will have like a boost on transfers. So top players moving and top clubs moving for top players. So now it's normal to have this kind of moment. But I think, of course, we will have the big moves after the Euros. So now they are going for some targets, but I think the biggest one will happen immediately after.
Okay, that's good to know. And also, there was this thing going around a while back about if we've got £250 million to spend at Arsenal. Do you know anything about that, or it's just talk?
No, I don't. I want to be honest with you. The budget of the club is something top secret, but it's not just about Arsenal.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Yes, I think these kind of things are also depending about how many players you sell, how many players you loan out, what kind of opportunities are on the market. So when you see the budget, in my opinion, is never 100% sure, because it depends by what's happening on the transfer market, and you can never predict what's going to happen. Maybe in 1 month you receive a crazy bid for one player, you decide to sell and to sign another one. So transfer market is beautiful because it's not 100% predictable. So that's why I think it's not about the money, it's about the opportunities.
Fair enough. So let's start with the outgoings first. So these are the players that are potentially to go out. Hector Bellerin.
He's leaving, as we said here many times. There are many clubs interested. Now we have rumors from Italy about Inter, but I'm told that he's not the main option for Inter. He has some options in Spain, for sure, with Villarreal has possibility, and let's see what happens also with some French club, because I'm told with some French club something is happening, but for sure he's gonna leave Arsenal. He wants to try something new, and also Arsenal are looking for a new right back. There is still nothing advanced on this, but for sure Bellerin is one of the players.
Do you know roughly what are the club looking for him?
For what player you mean? For Bellerin?
Fee, for Hector Bellerin.
Fee.
Yeah.
No, I'm about the fee. I would say it's not less than 15, 20 million euro, because they've always been thinking about this fee. But it depends also what kind of bid they're doing. For example, Italian clubs now, they are only bidding with loan with obligation to buy or with buy option. And I think Arsenal are not open for a buy option for Bellerin. So let's see what happens with French and Spanish clubs, for example, because I don't see Inter going on in this negotiation.
Perfect. Granit Xhaka.
Xhaka to Roma, expected to happen in the next weeks. They are just waiting for Mourinho to arrive in Rome to take possession of everything in Rome, but the agreement is really, really close. It's not done yet. Some days ago, they were saying it is done. It's not done yet, but it's just a matter of details, because the player wants to go to Roma, and what I'm told is that Arsenal told him some months ago that if the right proposal is arriving, he will be free to leave the club. So now it's time for him to join Roma, and I think next week it's going to happen.
Apart from Roma, was there any other club in for him, or it was just Roma?
No. There was some other club also in the Premier League, also in Spain, asking for Xhaka. But when Mourinho moved to Roma, one of the first player he asked for was Granit Xhaka, because he's convinced he's perfect for Italian football,
Yeah.
So he wanted him. He was already close to join Inter 1 year ago, and now Roma is the perfect opportunity. The player wants to go to Italian football, so he will go to Roma 90%, I would say.
Okay. Rob Holding.
Rob Holding is one other player who could leave the club if the right opportunity will arrive. We know that they are looking to sign a new centre-back with Ben White leading the race and really close. So this is the plan for Arsenal. Between Holding and Saliba, they have to make a decision.
Okay, so the next one on my list was William Saliba. Because this one, actually, Fabrizio, has been going around past couple of days quite a lot. That Saliba is Newcastle on loan, or maybe some other clubs on loan. I would personally, this is me as a fan, I'd like to see him, given a chance, because he did well in France, didn't he? So I don't know what is it with these boys, Fabrizio, that I don't know. It seems that they don't fancy him. Do you know anything about this?
No, it's just that sometimes you want the player to play 38 matches and not staying on the bench for a lot of time because they need to play. This is the point for Arsenal. So I think it's something that we can understand, but I agree with you that he deserves a chance because he's a fantastic player. The situation is still in the air. It's still not decided yet with Saliba, but for sure I agree with you about the player. My personal opinion is so positive, and I think they signed the future centre-back. So I hope they will give him a chance, but it's not decided yet.
Yeah, you see, even you say this as well, and it's puzzling for everybody in a fan base that why is it that this guy is not? I mean, look, to be fair, the season hasn't started. Nobody has told him you're going out on loan. He hasn't been sold. But so as far as you know, Saliba is in the plans for next season, or Arsenal are open to possibilities?
No. They are open to possibilities for Holding or Saliba. So they're going to decide on these two players in the next weeks. He's not like untouchable, but it doesn't mean that he's 100% leaving the club. So it's still an open situation. But what I'm told is that we have not made a decision on him yet. So I think in the next weeks they will. Would it
be fair to say? Would it be fair to say one of these two will leave?
Yes, I think yes.
Okay, cool. Lacazette.
Like I said, situation is strange because 1 month ago they had the opportunity of offering him a new contract, but then at the moment he's not moving forward, he's not agreed yet or advanced yet. So I think before I was mentioning opportunities on the market, it means also for Arsenal to sell some player with opportunities. And like I said, could be one of these opportunities. 1 year ago, Atletico Madrid were interested. Now let's say if something would be part of the market, because at the moment this new contract situation with Lacazette is still not decided. So I won't be surprised if Lacazette leaves the club this summer.
Okay, he's got a year left on his contract. Considering his age, and obviously you're very well experienced in the transfer market, what would you say is a decent fee for Alexander Lacazette?
Good point, because in this moment, market after pandemic is totally different since some years ago. So you can't ask like 50 million euro or something like this for a player out of contract in 1 year. So I would say it's around 25, something like this, 20, 25, 30 million euro. No more than this, because 1 year left on your contract and no agreement yet on a new contract means that you have to sell the player or you have the serious risk to lose this player for free. Starting from January, he could sign for free as free agent. So it's not an easy situation. And also because the player last summer was not convinced about leaving Arsenal. When Atletico Madrid contacted him and also Juventus were planning for a move for him, he was not 100% convinced. He wanted to stay. He was convinced about Arsenal. So let's see if this summer the situation will change.
Okay. Nketiah and Willock. I mean, in this bracket, I'll put the youngsters because Nketiah, Willock, these are the players. Matteo Guendouzi, Lucas Torreira, these are all in a bracket that they were out on, except Nketiah, they were out on loan. Now they're all due back at Arsenal. What is the plan with them? Who is in? I mean, there was this, as you know, this Matteo Guendouzi and Marseille that apparently is a done deal, but that has gone quiet. Lucas Torreira, I've only seen him being linked with Lazio recently. But these are all players that maybe have some value to them that Arsenal could be. And I remember about a year ago, we did a show together, Fabrizio, and Matteo Guendouzi, everybody was talking about him as could be potentially worth 50 million, 40 million down the line, massive potential. And then he all went down from that Brighton game, and now he's moved on loan. And now people are talking about 12, 15 million for him. So what's the latest with Guendouzi?
Yes, with Guendouzi, the situation with Marseille is so clear, in my opinion, because they have the agreement with the player since 2 weeks. And when a player agrees with the club, of course, the clubs try to get better conditions from the other club, in this case, Arsenal. So that's what Marseille are doing. They're trying to get better conditions. As you said, it started around 20 million euro, and now we are around 15 because they are looking for this kind of solution to have better conditions. But Guendouzi wants to go to Marseille. They are really confident. They put on their priorities Gerson and they signed him, and now Guendouzi. So they hope to complete the negotiation soon. Personal terms are 100% agreed. So Guendouzi is also waiting for the clubs to reach an agreement, but the deal is really close. And I agree with you about the player. I think what Luis Campos said about him some days ago is correct. He needs to be a bit more consistent because he has qualities. He is skillful, he's talented, but he needs to be more consistent, and maybe French football could help him in this process because in English football, you have no time. You have to impact immediately. So when you play for a top club like Arsenal, you have no time. And talking about, if you want me to answer about the other players you mentioned.
Of course.
Yes, Nketiah. I start with Nketiah because many clubs are interested. Arsenal some weeks ago offered him a new contract, but at the moment the player is not convinced yet about signing it. So at the moment there is still no advanced negotiation. There is a contract on the table, but Nketiah is taking his time to consider also all the proposal. The biggest one is from Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen trying for Nketiah, and also from England, West Ham are seriously interested in him. Also, Watford were asking for him. This is a permanent deal. No loan, only permanent deal for Edin Nketiah. Let's see what the player will decide, if extending the contract with Arsenal or joining one of these clubs on a permanent deal and leaving the club. But keep an eye on Bayer Leverkusen and West Ham in particular for
What is
him.
the fee being mentioned?
Good question, because at the moment it's still at the early stages, so there are no advanced negotiation yet. So I will let you know about the fee, but for sure these two clubs are the most interested. So I think Arsenal want a good fee, also if it's only 1 year contract, so they have this kind of situation. But you still remember, of course, about Balogun. It was seeming that the player was going to leave the club, and then they reached an agreement to keep him. So that's it.
Yeah. We've got Mr. Mo as well in the house. Hi, Mo. How are you?
Fabrizio, I apologize. This is what we call Asian timing. So.
No problem. Big pleasure.
Mo, we're just going through a list of players that are outgoing, so we haven't got to the incomings yet. So we're just still going through that. Just on that, Fabrizio, your opinion in the current market and everything, how much would you say Nketiah could go for?
It depends, because when you have this kind of contract, this is a problem, as we said before, for Lacazette, and for a young player is a bigger problem. In my opinion, he's a really good player, but Arsenal have a lot of young talent, so they need to make decision about these players and to decide what kind of players you want to keep and improve with your club, and what kind of players you have to risk and sell. So I would say the price for Nketiah with this contract situation could be around 10, 15 million euro, no more than this. This is my point.
And Lucas Torreira?
Lucas Torreira with Lazio, they are interested, of course, because Maurizio Sarri is a big fan of Lucas Torreira. They had a direct contact with his agent. He was speaking tonight, and he said that he wants to come back to Italian football because here he was performing so well. But at the first contact between Lazio and Arsenal asked for 20 million euro, and Lazio are not paying this money. They are absolutely not paying this money. So if Arsenal will change the conditions, they have chances for Torreira to go. If not, at the moment, nothing is happening with Lazio. This is the point.
And last one, Chris Willock and Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Yes, for Maitland-Niles, I think it will be in July or August. It will be decided. At the moment, it's not one of the priorities, also because the player is waiting to see what is the best opportunity. For Willock, Arsenal position is they want to give him a chance, also the preseason, so to see the player, to give him another chance with Arsenal. But if an important bid will arrive, also from Newcastle, they are prepared to listen and maybe accept. But when I say important bid, they are not accepting like 20 million euro. They want really an important one, like 35, 40 million euro for Willock, no less than this, and then they will take a decision. But at the moment, Newcastle are still interested. Many clubs are looking at him, but Arsenal are not making any discount. So I see rumors around saying 15 million euro, 20, impossible to sell Willock for this money.
I want to ask a question, man. I don't know if you've spoken about this, but Willian, the bane of Arsenal fans.
I forgot that one.
What's going on with this, Fabrizio? Give us good news.
He's leaving. Willian is leaving. Yes, I still don't know where he's going because at the moment there are still no advanced negotiation, but I can tell you that Willian wants to try something new, and also Arsenal are looking to sell him this summer. So I think if a good bid will arrive, Willian will leave the club. Yes.
I'm surprised, I thought once we had taken him on a 3-year contract that we might just be stuck with him. So is it just that it's easier for him to agree a 2-year contract at this stage after having done the year and kind of maintains a decent salary? I'm surprised that he's motivated to leave. I thought he might just take the paycheck.
But because I think Willian is not just caring about the contract, this season was really complicated, and as Arsenal fans was really disappointing and complicated and so long. So this season was disappointing for Willian, and he wants, from what I know, to try something new. We will see if this opportunity will arrive, because to sell players you have to find the right solution with another club. But for sure, the idea is for Willian is to leave. Yes.
Fine.
Cool.
Just so we're kind of also almost halfway through, and we've gone through all of the outgoing players. I just want to ask you something, Fabrizio. This has been going around. It went around for a couple of days and it died down. Aston Villa coming in for Emil Smith-Rowe. Is that rubbish talk, or they're actually serious?
No. It's true. It's true that they want him they like the player. They want him. But it's also true that Smith-Rowe is not going anywhere, because he wants to stay at Arsenal and he's signing a new contract at Arsenal. So they want him, but they are not signing him. At the moment, they are not signing him, because from what I'm told, also before going to holidays, the player was 100% convinced about staying at Arsenal, signing a new contract, and Arsenal are working to make him signing a new contract as soon as possible. 5 years contract, agreement almost done. So it's just a matter of, I think, of weeks, and then it will be completed.
But what figure was mentioned here between Villa and Arsenal? Were Villa interested? At what price point for Emil Smith-Rowe?
They opened talks around 25 million. So they were opening talks for this kind of fee, with add-ons included. But Arsenal are... Yes, but
that is a joke of a figure. For an English player, so young, he's just had his breakthrough season. That's a joke of an offer.
I agree with you. You know that in this moment, these clubs are trying to offer him money, because they know that top clubs like Arsenal are looking for money to reinvest on different targets. But Smith-Rowe is not on the list of players leaving Arsenal. So he's staying. Don't worry.
Right. Mo, just because you were not here, I'll explain to you. So I thought we do things differently this time. I've got a list of players of outgoings, which went through, and I've got a list of incomings, potential incomings, which I will go through, and then you can ask any question. Meanwhile, thank you everybody for watching us. Please hit the like button, subscribe to Fabrizio, not that he needs it, on Twitter. I think he's got a big enough channel on Twitter.
I'm happy to see also some Italian fans here in the chat.
I saw something. I couldn't really see what they're saying, but Mo as well. Mo's got a new channel, so go show him love, support his channel, and follow him on Twitter as well. So now this is the main business, incomings. And there is no other place to start than Ben White. What is happening?
Really, really, really close. Arsenal are really confident. There is still something to do between Arsenal and Brighton to arrive to the £50 million value with add-ons included. But when Ben White is really one step away from joining Arsenal, as David Ornstein said yesterday, but it's really, really close. It's just a matter of days, and the player is buzzing to join Arsenal. So he will be the new centre-backs. They will try for Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen as main option, but the fee is crazy. They were asking around 75 million euro for Tapsoba, so they don't want to sell him.
Do you know what's the fee for Ben White, Fabrizio?
Is around the £50 million for Ben White. Now
is that including add-ons or plus add-ons?
Is including add-ons. Okay. So Arsenal are offering a bit less than this. It's around 40-45 with add-ons. They want 50 guaranteed, but I think it's just a matter of days, because when you have the agreement with the player, Arsenal are feeling so confident on this deal. It's not done yet, but it's really, really close. So I think Ben White will be the new centre-back of Arsenal next season.
Okay. Lokonga.
Interesting situation, because he's one of the names in the list. They made contact with his agent. And since Arsenal called him, Lokonga is giving absolute priority to Arsenal, because also Napoli and Atalanta from Italian football were calling him, were trying to negotiate with Anderlecht for him. But the player is giving total priority to Arsenal. So at the moment, it's not still at advanced stages. It's just talks with the player and contact with Anderlecht. So it's not so advanced as bid and negotiation and payment structure. But the player is saying till there is I wait. So he's still waiting for Arsenal. Let's see what happens. But he's one of the names in the list.
Okay, Camavinga.
Too difficult. This is my feeling. Too difficult for the summer.
Why
I don't see it happening. This is my personal feeling. It's not about news, but my personal feeling. I don't see it happening because they are crazy. They're asking for a big fee. Also, if he has only 1 year left on his contract, and many top clubs playing the Champions League, they are prepared to offer him a crazy contract because they know it's a big opportunity with 1 year left on his contract. So I think this Camavinga deal is really difficult. This is the point. For sure, Arsenal.
Why is it that they're asking, Fabrizio?
They're asking for more than 60 million euro, imagine. More than 60, with 1 year left on his contract. So Rennes are still on the same position. They want real money for Camavinga. And it's not easy this summer to sign him. So for sure, Arsenal love the player. But of course, how not? We are talking about one of the best talents in the world. But it's really difficult.
Okay. Bissouma.
Bissouma is, as I always say, not the first option in the list. They are looking for a bit different midfielder, and so he's one of the players in the list. Appreciated, yes, but not the first option. So at the moment, he's interest, but no negotiation.
Okay, James Maddison.
James Maddison is a real target because they are looking for him. They are convinced that he could be the perfect player as number 10 at Arsenal. So they are considering him as a real target. He's not yet advanced as negotiation with Leicester because at the moment for Leicester side, they say if they want Maddison, they have to pay and we need to start a negotiation. So they know about the interest, but there is still no advanced negotiation between clubs. It will take some time, but he's a real target also because the first one has always been Martin Odegaard, that they say many times, Arsenal, till they had the 1% chance to sign Odegaard, they want to try for him. But Maddison is the other big option if Odegaard is not joining, because Odegaard was saying, I'm staying at Real Madrid. They want to keep me. And this is the truth, because Real Madrid decided to sell Isco and keep Odegaard. So I think Maddison is the biggest chance now.
Okay. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
At the moment, nothing advanced yet, I'm told. Appreciated, yes, but yes, it's a possibility, but it's not something imminent or negotiation advanced yet.
Okay. Your fellow countryman, if I pronounce this right, Locatelli.
Perfect pronunciation, congrats. And yes, let me say that I love this player. I love this player because we know here in Italy, and he's really fantastic. And Arsenal are really interested in Locatelli, really interested in Locatelli. The main problem is Juventus, because Juventus are negotiating with Sassuolo. They already had a meeting with Sassuolo. They are offering players as part of the deal. The player is obviously attracted by play Champions League, stay in Italy, go to Juventus. So Juventus now are the priority for Manuel Locatelli. But Arsenal would be one of the Premier League clubs interested if Locatelli is not joining Juventus. So at the moment, Juve negotiating, but Arsenal still following the situation. So keep an eye on this one.
The player's first choice is Juventus, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Fabrizio,
Onana. Sorry.
On Locatelli, I just wanted to ask, he's quite a deep-lying midfielder, right? So is that going to be a case of either Bissouma or, because you're saying Bissouma's not the first choice, so is Locatelli ahead of Bissouma in that list?
Yes, but at the same point, I would say that it's more complicated than Bissouma in this moment. So one thing is the list and one other thing is the reality. So it's not easy to sign Locatelli in this moment because Juventus are going serious for him. But yes, the kind of player is this one. Yes. Okay. Also because Locatelli with Sassuolo was playing in the midfield with 2 players, but with Italy national team he's playing with 3. So he can play in every position. He's really good player.
Cool. Onana, last time we spoke, his court case was still up in the air. It's now, I think, been cleared up. So what's the latest on that?
There is still no official bid from Arsenal. There is a lot of interest, but still no official bid to Ajax. Also, Ajax are waiting because they know that Arsenal are in touch with the agent of the player, but it's not like a done deal. I saw something saying like done deal or set to be completed. It's not at this stages from what I know. So many clubs are interested, also from France and from Italy. After the ban changed, many clubs started to call for the player. And so Arsenal have an interest, yes, but it's not yet advanced.
Okay. Isak, the Swedish forward.
So difficult. They want 70 million euro, and they from Real Sociedad, they hope to keep the player and sell him in 2022 for a bigger fee. So I think it's really difficult this summer. But let's see if maybe Arsenal are selling some player, as we were saying of the situation of Lacazette. Maybe could be an opportunity, but at the moment it's still so difficult.
This was the next one I was going to ask, but somebody has been kind enough to ask in the super chat as well. Hello everyone, great panel. Any info on a right back?
And this is a complicated one about the right back, because they started in January considering Lamptey as an option, but now he's not on the market. He's staying at Brighton. Then Max Aarons was considered one of the possibilities, but Arsenal are not going for him. Hakimi was the big dream, but he's going 90% to Paris Saint-Germain. So at the moment, the situation is still not the priority with the right back. They are looking to solve Ben White, and then to go for the center midfielder, and then they will decide for right back, looking at the opportunities also.
Probably the right back of the tournament in Euro 2020 so far is Denzel Dumfries, and you'd look at the team he plays for, PSV, you think, yeah, Arsenal are big enough to pluck a player from a team like that. Is there any rumours around Denzel Dumfries?
No rumours around, but could be a good option. Talking about opinions, I agree with you, could be a good option because the player is prepared to leave. I see rumours about Inter, but it's not true. Inter are not signing Dumfries. Bayern Munich are looking for this opportunity, but the price is not so easy to afford because it's like 20 million euro. Let's see if Arsenal will go for him. For the right back, they will go for the right opportunity, so they have no Russian.
Okay, and last two, Aouar and Grealish.
For Aouar, I'm told that rumors last days were not true. There is nothing serious going on for Aouar because the player last summer was not so convinced about the move because he wants to play the Champions League. He's respecting Arsenal, but he wants to play the Champions League. He has this big desire to play the Champions League. So at the moment, it's complicated, and I don't see nothing going on with Aouar in these hours. Then we will see later in the market, but there is nothing serious going on with Arsenal and Houssem Aouar. And talking about Jack Grealish, what today someone said set to sign with Manchester City is not exactly like this from what I know. They have an interest, yes, but it's not a done deal. I see really complicated for Arsenal to spend more than £100 million for Jack Grealish this summer. So I think he won't be a serious option this summer because of the cost of the player.
Okay, that's fine. We do normally get fans from other teams that watch us. So there's two players I'm going to ask you, and very briefly, okay, if you can just give us a description, and then the floor will be yours more, so you can take it from there. Harry Kane and Sancho, Jadon Sancho.
Harry Kane, the bid from Manchester City was an official one, £100 million. Also available to talk about players like Laporte, Gabriel Jesus, these kind of players. But Tottenham said no. They don't want to negotiate for Harry Kane, and they want to keep Harry Kane. I think now he's going quiet, but after the Euros, Manchester City will be back, and Kane wants to go. So it will be interesting to see what happens with this situation. And about Sancho, he's really, really close to join Manchester United now. The gap is now getting closer to reach an agreement. They want 95, but United are offering 85 with add-ons, but it's really getting closer for Sancho to United.
Perfect. My brother, Mo?
Yeah, listen, because I joined late, you might have already covered this, but the two things I was very curious about is Bernd Leno. We had heard rumours about him wanting to go. Is that something you covered?
No.
Yes. It's true that there are chances for him to leave the club, but at the same time, there is no bid at the moment, no negotiation. So, talking about possibilities, yes, but talking about something really going on with any specific club is not like this yet. So we need to wait. But Leno will be, from what I'm told, so respectful with Arsenal. So if the right bid will arrive, he will be happy to try something different. If not, he will be 100% professional and respectful and continue this journey.
Okay. And the other one was William Saliba. A lot of Arsenal fans are very excited about him, and we thought Gabriel Saliba would like to see that partnership. And now the talk of Ben White has come in. Where does that leave Saliba, and what's the situation with him and Arteta?
Yes, what we said is that the situation with Saliba and Holding is that they will decide for one of these two players to leave the club and to give them opportunities to play, because they appreciate Saliba. And we were saying when we saw him that, of course, we hope to see him performing for Arsenal, but Arsenal are interested in him to play 38 matches as starter. So they don't want him to be on the bench with Ben White and with many centre-backs in the club. So they will decide on him in the next weeks. It's no decision made yet. It will take some time, but it's still in the air between Saliba and Holding.
Okay. Cool, okay. And Fabrizio, then, tell me this, right? If there's one shock transfer, it doesn't matter who the clubs are. If there's one shock transfer that's going to come out of this window, what's it going to be? What's your prediction?
Just before you answer, Fabrizio, I give you a little bit of time to think about this. For the guys who just joined on the chat, we went through an extensive list of players and names with Fabrizio earlier on. So if you've missed those, about the incomings and outgoings, once we're finished, you can obviously watch the show back, and we've pretty much discussed more, I think, a lot of players that are potentially coming in or leaving, and Fabrizio give us very good information on all of them. Renato Sanchez, we haven't discussed, we'll ask Fabrizio as a last question, but yeah, please subscribe if you're new, follow Fabrizio, follow Mo, and yeah, Fabrizio.
And follow the Arsenal Lounge as well. Put your profile in there, my brother.
Renato has chances to leave Lille this summer, but at the moment there is still nothing advanced yet. So we will see in the next weeks what happens, but also about rumors about Bayern and many other clubs, still nothing advanced. We will see later in the window. And about the shocking move, I would say keep an eye on Cristiano Ronaldo after the Euros, because now the situation is still quiet because he's focusing on the Euros. There is no bid at the moment, no bid from any club. Jorge Mendes was in Milano some days ago, but he was not meeting with Juventus because there is no negotiation yet for Cristiano, but they need to take a decision. So I would say after the Euros, we will have the final decision, if Cristiano is staying at Juventus or if he decides to leave. And I'm really curious to see what happens if he decides to leave, what club could go for Cristiano, because at the moment there is nothing. But, we are in June and we have 2 months ahead of transfers, so we will see.
It's interesting that you mentioned Cristiano, because at one point this summer I was thinking if Juventus don't get Champions League football, then Ronaldo would obviously leave.
Yes.
And with Messi not being happy at Barcelona, it now looks like he will sign a new contract. But I was thinking, could Ronaldo end up at Man United? Could Messi end up at Man City? And I thought, what an exciting proposition.
No, Messi's staying, 100%.
Yeah.
Listen, Fabrizio, I know it's a difficult time for you, very busy, and you've got a lot of things to do. I want to thank you again for coming on, giving us all the information. I just for everybody who watches, we've been doing this with Fabrizio for a while now. One of the nicest guys that you can meet, very professional.
Thank you.
99% of the information Fabrizio gives is reliable. We love working with you, and we love you, and we've always support you in anything that you do, and it's a pleasure for us to have you here.
Thank you.
Same with our brother Mo. I'm sure we will speak again before the transfer window ends.
Sure.
And I hope that next time we speak, there is better information for us about Arsenal, because we all want to sign a lot of good players. We all want this and that. But I can understand to a certain extent why it's quiet and not a lot of information is coming out.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. It's normal. It's part of the game in the market. You have different moments, but I'm sure something interesting will happen, and we will stay together again. And I want to say thank you again for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to be together. Thank you to Arsenal fans. It's always a pleasure, and we stay in touch and we chat.
I think soon, Fabrizio, we're gonna start working on you to maybe convert you into an Arsenal fan as well. I know you guys are for Watford.
I am Watford fan.
Yeah, you need to.
My first match at Vicarage Road was Watford Arsenal with Alexis Sanchez, I think, scoring. So good feelings.
Fair enough.
Tell me this, Fabrizio. Who's going to win the Euros? What's your prediction?
France. I go with France.
Not Italy.
No, Italy. I go with France.
Okay.
Very good. Well, listen, me and Mo are going to stay on, and we're going to discuss this interview a little bit more on that. Fabrizio, I know you've got a rush and you've got things to do. Thanks for coming on again, my friend. Pleasure to see you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Take care, man. Look after yourself, Fabrizio. Bye-bye. Right, brother, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I just so many. You got a really good list, man. There's so many things to discuss, so many incomings, outgoings, and you captured it well. There were some names that when you said, I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to know about.
I'm sure I've missed a few. As I'm sure, look, people in the chat are reminding me. There's this guy saying, "What's a backup for Currentini?" This was my list.
Yeah, man. A lot of people.
I had to sit down, think, and write it down. But yeah, look, you missed it earlier when we were talking about. He said to me, "Bellerin is definitely leaving," and between Holding and Saliba, they're gonna keep one and let go of the other one. I would like, and he agreed with me as well, that William Saliba is a quality player, would bright future, and we're all puzzled as to why he's not being given a chance. He was also, he said he would pick Saliba over Bellerin potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I find it interesting. I would certainly. I think we've seen what Holding has had to offer, and he's solid, he's good, but he's not top level. I would much rather go for Saliba and look to the future and look to see what that potential is that he's got over Holding. So if the choice is between Holding and Saliba, I'd be quite frustrated with the.
You know what, Mo? I don't think you're going to see Raheem Sterling getting a header on top of Saliba. Remember, he got that header on top of Rob Holding. And you know what? I just want to say something. You mentioned this to me. I can see some people being kind in the chat room to remind me as well. It's actually Joe Willock, not Chris Willock. I don't know why I said Chris Willock, but thank you for reminding. Thanks for Mo as well for pointing it out. What was your thoughts, Mo? What was your thoughts on what you heard?
Listen, it's just right now there's these buzz of rumours, but unfortunately, my overall takeaway from what Fabrizio has said and the other rumours that are out there is that Arsenal are nowhere near progressed enough that as much as I would have liked. When we look at it, we're a month on from the end of the season, and I would have liked Arsenal to have done some business. But then I also have to be balanced, and I have to look at other teams out there who has really already added to their squad. What have Man City done? What have Man United done? You know, these are teams with a lot of money. So on that basis, I say to myself, okay, fine. You know, Arsenal are on par with some other teams. We might be one of the first ones to actually make a big move with Ben White. You know, we seem very close to that.
What's your thoughts on that, actually?
50 million is a lot of money. And I think that it's hard for me to, off the top of my head, to come up with an equivalent player in one of the other leagues in Europe who is at the same level and at the same age and everything, Ben White, with the same amount of years left on their contract. It's quite hard to find a proper like-for-like comparison. But if you were to find that player, they would not be costing you £50 million. We're paying an English premium here. And that's what I find very frustrating when we talk about Aston Villa in for Smith Rowe at 20 million. I think
that's taking a piss.
It's an insult. Absolute insult. So look, Ben White is expensive at 50 million. But ultimately, it's when you look back in 10 years' time, if we say we got this young defender who's now one of the best in the league, that looks like a bargain. Even Virgil van Dijk, you look at that, no one talks about his transfer fee anymore because he proved to be a really, really good player. And if the people that have looked at Ben White a lot more closely than I have think that he's worth 50 million and he'll justify that, so be it. I think it's expensive.
Yeah, I agree with you. Red Cannon. They've got a good podcast. I watch them sometimes. They've got great content. Keep up the good boys. Arsenal Lounge going to. Thanks, man. It's very kind of you. You know, having people like Mo and Lee Judges and Fabrizio obviously help us to get to where we want to be. This would you agree with me that 50 million will probably get you Rafael Varane?
I would have thought so.
Madrid desperate for money.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought so. And
if Arsenal, sorry, Mo, to interrupt you. If Arsenal, based on what Fabrizio said, are making a bid of £45 million, I know it's structured and everything, plus 5 million add-ons. That's a decent bid, man.
It is, yeah. Look, maybe this. I know people hate talking about this sort of stuff, right? But maybe this is the difference between Man United, who are rumored to be in for Varane, versus Arsenal, who are rumored to be in for Ben White. You spend the same amount of money, you put them on a 4-year contract. At the end of that contract, Varane is 32, Ben White is 27. So we'll be recycling our money. Man United will actually be spending their money. This is provided we don't lose him on a free transfer or anything stupid like that. Because if we sell him at that age, then, you know, we make more than our money back, you would have thought, if he's a success. So maybe that's why we're not in for Varane. But if someone asked me, if you were to maximize your chance of winning trophies, if you were to maximize your chance of being in contention from the Premier League next year, who do you want in central defence for 45, 50 million, Varane or Ben White? I take Varane all day.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because I think we're in a place as a football club now where we can't afford to have another season as we just had. Next season, it has to be a lot better than what we had. You know, I know people talk about top 4 and this and that, but we need to remember that, you know, Man City will get stronger, especially if they go for Grealish or Kane or people like that. Man United are looking to sign players. Tottenham probably gets players. Leicester is going to sign players. Liverpool, these clubs, will get better and stronger as well. And we also need to get better. There's a lot of question marks on next season, how Arteta is going to do. You can, get all the good players. Is he going to be able to get the best out of them and get results? That's one subject, and that's a show on its own. The recruitment process, the players that are going to come in. I think it's crucial, this transfer window, for future of Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me or not, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, we're talking about spending £50 million on a player. That becomes a free transfer if we get Champions League qualification. We really do need to. I know there's a lot of good teams going for that, top 4 spots. You can't ever spend the money assuming you'll get there. But Arsenal need to get into European competition again, and the proper European competition, not a Conference League or the Europa League.
Yeah, I agree with you, man, 100%. Because now it's working against us. Every top player that we're being linked with, and Fabrizio mentioned like Camavinga, right?
Yeah.
He said, it's going to be very difficult. You heard it's going to be very difficult for Arsenal. There's a lot of other players in for him who've got Champions League football. Now, why would he not go there and then come to Arsenal? That's straight away a disadvantage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The thing that bothers me is that we're talking about some players that might not want to come to us because of Champions League football. Bissouma, for me, is a no-brainer. I just think that the figures that are quoted aren't overly restrictive. I think he's a brilliant, brilliant player. And
I agree, man.
I don't know if you covered Granit Xhaka with
Yes.
Fabrizio.
We did Granit. Obviously, I saw somebody put on the comments, where is Fabrizio? Fabrizio was with us for half an hour. We went through extensive list. Watch the show again so you see everything you got. But Granit Xhaka, he said, Roma are basically waiting for Mourinho to come in, settle. More or less, it's done, agreed. And when Mourinho signed for Roma, the first thing he asked of them was that he wants Granit Xhaka because he thinks he's perfect for football. And I think he will leave. And you know what worries me, Mo, is that we're just waiting, I don't know for what, right? And then somebody will just come and pay the money and take the guy. And then we're all going to be like, why didn't we take him when we had the chance? Unless, they got things agreed behind the scene and we don't know. But that is what, and Arsenal are very capable of something like this, that they will just, what's the word I'm looking at? Pussyfoot around it a little bit. And somebody will come and then they will drop the money and they will take the player. Like Liverpool, for example, right? Yeah. They will drop the money, Champions League football, they're going to compete, and he'll go there. Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan. He likes to come Arsenal. But if we're not going for him, he's going to say, well, I'm going to go to a better team.
Yeah, man. I want to see us sign Bissouma. If Xhaka goes and Bissouma comes in, I think Arsenal are a better team as a result. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. To wrap up things, any thoughts? Anything that you're looking forward from now to the transfer window? I'm sure we're going to do something else with Fabrizio towards the end of transfer window. But what are you looking for from now to end of the window?
I'm not actually expecting much until the Euros are done and dusted. I'm really not. I think a lot of players will be kind of saying to their agents, no, look, I want to focus on this. And so I'm quite patient. Sometimes, you get to a point in the summer where you're itching. You're kind of like, for God's sake, do something. I'm not at that stage yet. I'm patient right now. What I'm looking forward to is England versus Germany on Tuesday. That's for me, just what a brilliant clash. I was so happy when I saw that. England-Germany, such a good old rivalry. Probably Germany on penalties is my prediction. I don't know what you think, but I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll think. I haven't seen enough of England to say, they'll bust it. It's all been 1-0, 1-0, just about, to get through. But yeah, it's going to be a fantastic game, and may the best team win. Mo, thank you very much for coming on. It's midday for it's difficult for everybody to watch us. I have to give special thanks to my cousin Cheyenne, who is waiting for me, and he's invited me to his house. So and I said to him, he's sitting in my office on the sofa watching this on his headphone, and I can actually see him from here. So I have to go to his house. So hopefully he will have some good food and everything for me. Mo, brother, I know you had some business at work and everything. It's a pleasure to have you on. We've got big plans, obviously, for next season together. And yeah, just anything you want to say to wrap things up?
Well, the only thing I'd say is, how's it going, Cheyenne? Sorry you're sitting there bored. Make Shaheen make it up to you, man, making you wait like that.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everybody who watched us. If you're watching this again, thank you for watching. Follow Mo on Twitter. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to Arsenal Lounge. Follow us on Twitter. We've got an Instagram page as well. So if you want to follow that one as well. Hopefully, Arsenal will have a fantastic transfer window and will compete next season. And we'll go from there. Thank you very much for everybody for watching us. Mo?
Take care, man. Enjoyed it.